welcome back to my channel. Today is the best, greatest video I've ever filmed in my life, and I think that filming a video like this is a dream for a lot of beauty bloggers and makeup artists out there. But I'm introducing you guys to my very own brush collection that I have just launched. The collection is called Thunder Cosmetics, and these are all my beautiful brushes. I am so excited to share it with you, and I've had so many people asking me for a tutorial on what brushes to use where and how each brush works for different areas of your faces. So that is what this video is about. If you're interested to see how it works, just keep watching. But before we jump into that video, I want to share with you guys the journey that I've been on to get to this point and what the brushes are all about. So the brush range has 5 face blending brushes in it. There's 2 for like concealer and for contouring and highlighting blending. There's foundation brushes. There's even a brush for your setting powder. These brushes are literally the best when it comes to buffing in your foundation. I'm seriously not just saying that because it's my brand. I'm saying that because of the results that you get. There is no more streaky lines in your makeup. There's no more blotchiness. It's just even foundation every single day when you use these brushes. So these are the 5 facial blending brushes. Again, if you want to see how and where I use each brush, then keep watching this video. But in this set, there are also 5 eye blending brushes. These are kind of like eye and face blending brushes. So these 3 are eye shadow blending brushes. Then you get your placement brush, and then you get your concealer buffing brush. I always find a smaller brush around the eye area a lot easier to use, so that is why I did that one. And in the set, you will see that each and every big brush has like a mini version of that brush for the eye area. So for example, this contour brush has the exact same mini brush in the same like dome shape, I want to say, and the same density. This is for the contour of your eyes, and this is for the contour of your face. So each and every brush matches each other, and in the set of 10, you obviously receive every brush that is a blending brush. Every single one of these brushes, again, is designed to blend your makeup out. I tell my students all the time, and when it comes to being an artist, I feel the biggest thing about being a really good artist is being able to blend makeup effectively. I never was able to find the perfect brushes to give me that blend, so that is why I also brought out my own. So every brush is designed to blend different area of your face, and yeah. So I thought the best way to demonstrate my brushes to you all is to do like a step-by-step tutorial showing you guys exactly what brush I use for what and how I apply certain products. So the look that I'm doing is a super natural everyday makeup. You can wear it to gym, you can wear it to the office, you can wear it to just like a light lunch out. And I just thought that it would be really helpful to show you guys something a little bit more natural and achievable with the brushes, while you get to see the overall effects of what the brushes can create. The first brush I'm picking up is the domed sort of foundation looking brush. I find that this is the best brush to apply my primer with, and the primer that I'm going to be using is the Fresh and Fit Awake Primer by Essence. For a drugstore primer, this has definitely got to be my absolute favorite. Just applying a little bit to the back of my hand. That's even a little bit too much. I'm then dabbing the brush into the product and almost like massaging the product into my skin. The best part about these brushes is that buffing into the skin is so easy. You really don't have to make your products work for you. You don't have to worry about products not setting or sinking in. Because of the brush being so flat and even the dome, it allows you to push the product in when you apply it. I do often apply primers with my hand, but I do sometimes feel that I don't get the primer evenly dispersed all over my face as I would with a brush. So that is why I started to use this brush for my primer. I absolutely love the sort of glow that this primer gives me. I think it's perfect underneath a full coverage foundation. It gives me a natural glow for every day, and it allows kind of my natural oils to come through, and I really enjoy that about this primer. The next thing I'm going in with is my favorite drugstore foundation. I've spoken about this 400 times. You will see another video just like this. I will link it down below, but it is my Essence Camouflage 2-in-1 makeup and concealer. I love this foundation, best foundation of all time from the drugstore without a doubt. So again, I'm just putting a little bit on the back of my hand. You will find that with my brushes you actually end up using quite a lot less product than you usually do with other brushes, as all of my brushes are 100% synthetic and they don't actually absorb the product. So this much foundation is probably going to be enough to cover my entire face. So the brush that I'm picking up to use for the foundation is this really flat kabuki looking brush from the range. I find that its flatness really allows me to buff my foundation into my skin as much as I can, and again give me that perfectly airbrushed look. The motions in which you want to apply your makeup is definitely in a dabbing sort of motion and then moving the brush around, keeping that buff action within your hand. You will find that as you start to apply the foundation onto your skin, that it just gives that very natural airbrushed look immediately. Again, you don't really have to work your brush overly for it to give you a airbrush look. It does happen quite naturally with the brush. So now that my foundation is properly buffed into my skin and applied everywhere, I'm going to go in with concealer, and I'm actually going to use one of the smaller eye brushes to apply my concealer. The brush that I'm picking up is again the same shape as the foundation brush. It is the flat sort of eye blending brush. I find this easier again to just buff in underneath that eye area and get a really smooth, even looking. The concealer that I'm using is the LA Girl Pro Conceal in the shade Natural. I love this concealer as well. I've tried to keep this tutorial as like drugstore product friendly as I possibly can. You will see as I'm applying this concealer that it does have a little bit of orange in it. I like to use this one just because I find that whatever dark circles I have underneath my eyes, this conceals and corrects it perfectly. So you can see that the motions that I'm using to apply this concealer are in like a buffing short brush stroke motion. Again, it really allows me to get into every single area of that eye. Again, you'll see how effortlessly this concealer is buffed out with this brush. I love to use like smaller eye brushes around the eye area for my concealer. I just find that you're able to get really close to that lash line and just buff the concealer out so it looks really natural and just like your skin. Again, this isn't a very over-the-top makeup look. It is quite natural, but I do just want a little bit more coverage. If you've been watching my videos for a while, you guys know how I feel about my freckles and the fact that I always want to cover them. So the more concealer in my world, the better. Now I'm going to go ahead and set my entire makeup look. I'm going to set my foundation as well as my concealer. And the brush that I'm using to do this, excuse the fact that it's dirty, I literally just used it. It is the almost angled dome brush. Face brush. It looks a lot like the other brushes. However, for powder, I really feel that because it's a little bit more fluffy, that you are able to get more of that powder everywhere and really properly set that makeup. So the powder that I'm using is from my Stage Line limited edition Valentine's Day palette. I absolutely love this powder for setting under eye concealer and for setting foundation, and I'm just using the lightest shade in the palette. When it comes to setting my foundation and concealer, I always start underneath the eye area and just almost tap that powder onto the skin. Whenever you're setting your foundation, it's really important to do this tapping motion just to make sure that the powder is actually sticking to that product. I often find that if you buff the powder over the foundation, then you end up moving the foundation and the powder, and that is how you sometimes become quite cakey looking. I'm just doing this all over my face. I'm also going to apply a bit of this powder to my eyelids just to prep the eyelid for my eyeshadow primer. How I get my full coverage foundation. This is what it looks like before I've done absolutely anything else, and I know that my brushes have a big part to play in terms of how the overall look of my foundation is. There's no lines, there's no streakiness, there's no patchiness happening. It's almost like a perfect airbrush look. I want to say that it's really similar to airbrushing makeup, the overall effect. I just find that it's a lot easier because you can get this effect every day with just having the brushes in your own makeup collection. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys how I contour with my brushes. So the brush that I'm going to be using for this is the dome-shaped contour brush. This has been an absolute lifesaver recently. I love this brush. I just find that where you place it on your face is exactly where your contour happens. So for my contouring products, I'm going to use the LA Girl Pro Face HD High Definition Matte Powder, and this is in the shade Mocha. It is extremely dark. I am going to do quite a dark contour just because I want to show you guys exactly how you can contour with this brush. So I'm just going to go into that product. Remember to always shake off your brushes, especially because these brushes are so dense. There's a lot of color payoff inside the brush already. I'm just going to map out my face and have a look at exactly where I'm going to place that. You can almost see instantly how great that product is. Again, I'm then going back in with that same powder brush I used before, and I'm just buffing that contour into my skin. I do find that this contour color is a little bit cool and a little bit dark. Sometimes I want to liven it up with something slightly warmer, so I'm going in with another product on top of it, and that is the Essence Luminous Matte Bronzing Powder. I'm going back in with that exact same powder brush as we used before, and I'm just buffing over that exact same area. I'm then taking a little bit of this bronzer along the jawline and onto my neck, just to again give that face a little bit of shape and try and cover that double chin, you know. And then I'm obviously going to do the exact same thing on the other side. Perfectly contoured, I'm going to go in and do my eyes. So the first products I'm going to be applying is Painterly by MAC, which is a pro longwear paint pot and is an amazing eyeshadow palette. The brush that I'm going to be using is this domed eyeshadow brush from the range, and I love this for buffing concealer, cream-like type products on the eye area. I'm just picking up the product and buffing it into the skin. These brushes are literally so easy to use. Even if you know nothing about makeup, they're really easy to use and master. You want to make sure that you're getting the eyeshadow primer all over the lid, right up to the brow bone, just to make sure that the area is kind of one-dimensional and one toned in color. This really does set the tone for your eye makeup. I do this every single day because I find that it not only helps my eye makeup to last, but it also helps to brighten up my eye area. I love this trick and I highly recommend everyone should try it, especially if you're somebody that battles with a slight bit of darkness around the eye like I do. The next brush that I'm going in with is the angled shaped eye blending brush. You will see that every single face brush has an exact same copy in eye brush. So there's essentially two of each, if that makes any sense. So if you think of the foundation brush is like that, then the eyeshadow brush will be like that. They're the exact same brush, however, they're just different sizes for different areas on the face. For eyeshadow, I'm picking up my Make Your Own palette by Stageline, and the color that I'm going to be starting off with is number 20. So I'm taking this angled brush, I'm just going straight into that product, and I'm going to blend it all over my lid area. You will see that the shadow is not very dark in comparison to my natural eye color or to that primer. It's just almost like a wash of color everywhere. With that same brush, I'm going into a slightly darker shadow, which is number 14 by the same makeup range. I'm just picking up a little bit of the product and again shaking my brush off and focusing that eyeshadow on the actual lid of the eye. Just notice the motion that I am using to apply the eyeshadow. I'm almost just patting the eyeshadow into my eyelid area. Even though this gives you quite a buffed out look naturally because of the shape of the brush, I am going to go in again and buff this out so that there are no harsh lines. I'm then going to pick up this very small domed eyeshadow brush and I'm going to go into the shade 17 by the same brand, Stageline, and I'm going to go right into the inner corner of my eye with this gold color and just almost apply it just to the very inner part of my lid, just to give my eyes a little bit more life. And again, I'm going to pick up that same brush and just make sure that all of those lines are completely buffed out and 100% invisible. Again, I'm going to pick up that dome brush and go back into that brown shade, dust off my brush once again, and I'm going to just go underneath my eye slightly just to give a bit of a shadow on the lower lash line. As you can see, I'm looking super naked without my brows, so I'm just going to jump off camera real quick and fix those right up. For my brows, I have used the Brows Pro palette by Frisk Beauty. I love this palette. I think it is the perfect shade for my eyebrows. If you guys want to see a tutorial on how I fill in my brows, then please just comment down below and I'll be sure to film one for you. Instead of using a traditional highlighter, I'm actually going to use an eyeshadow to highlight today, and I'm using the shade ES30 by SAC. You guys can see how well loved this product is. It's absolutely disgusting. Again, I'm picking up that flat topped eyeshadow brush. I'm going straight into the product and I'm just going over those highlighting hot spots. Again, for highlighting, I find it so much easier to use an eyeshadow brush. I just think that you're able to get that concentrated highlight without all the mess and highlighting in too many areas. I'm then hitting just underneath my brow bone again, that beautiful hot spot. I wanted to have quite a glowy look today on the Cupid's bow and along the bridge of the nose. I love to apply highlighter just to the bottom part of my lip, just so that my lips look a whole lot bigger than they are. And again, I'm doing the exact same thing on the other side. I kind of had a look in the mirror and decided that I wasn't kind of bronzy and glowy enough. So I'm just going to pick up my Mineralized Skin Finish Powder by MAC in Global Glow. It's this beautiful gold finish, and I'm picking up the domed face kabuki brush. I'm just going into the product and dusting it off quite a bit, and I'm going to give myself a little bit more glow in between that highlight and contour area. I just want to warm my face up a little bit more. Much better. I'm going to be using the Stage Line Extra Volume Mascara. Again, I love this mascara, and can you tell how much I love Stage Line? Just with one sweep of this mascara, I can get a full set of false looking lashes. I'm picking up my favorite Retro Matte lipstick by MAC, and this is the shade Mango Mango. Finishing this look off with my favorite makeup fixer by Lucrum. This is also available by Studio 27 Red. They are the main South African distributor and stockers for Stage Line. I do find with this fixing spray that it is quite a strong scent. It almost takes you back the minute you spray it. It does work really well, but again, it's got quite a strong scent to it. Don't know if I love it that much, but it works the best of any of the other setting sprays that I own. So I'm definitely not going to be getting rid of it anytime. So this is the final everyday glowy makeup look that I created with all of my Thunder brushes. I'm so excited to bring these brushes out to the market. It has been a really long time to kind of decide and work with my suppliers in getting me the perfect brush range, and I'm so excited that it's finally here. So for more information about purchasing my brushes, please send me a message. My email address is down below. Please mail me or even comment on this video and I will send you guys all of the details. Unfortunately, we only ship to anywhere in South Africa, not international countries as yet, but if that ever changes, I will be sure to film another video about it. Thank you guys so much for watching and for loving Thunder brushes as much as